Hey y'all, it's been a while. So basically, I've come back to YouTube to tell you to not get the GMMK Pro. So consider this video a rant slash story slash review of the GMMK Pro. This board is fucking terrible. You should not get this for any game. Not even for typing, really. This is a fucking mess of a keyboard. You should never get this. So let me get into what happened and how much fucking effort it took for me to fix this piece of shit. So let's start with the unboxing. The unboxing is whatever, just a box, keyboards in there, and it came with like another set of screws for the case, which is a bit of foreshadowing for what's gonna happen. So this is a bare bones kit. You only get the keyboard and the stabilizers. You need to get your own switches and your own keycaps, which is pretty standard for a custom keyboard. And this bare bones kit costed like 170 bucks. Not worth it. Not even close. If you sold this for 100, maybe, but 170, no way. So I got all my switches looped. I put them on first on the big keys because gotta test the stabilizers. And these stabilizers are, let me be clear here, unusable. You will not be able to use this keyboard at all with these stabilizers. These stabilizers stick to the board. When you push down a key, it doesn't come up. It takes like 2 seconds for it to come back up. It is unusable. It's because they put these stabilizer pads on the PCB, and they put so much lube on the stabilizers that the lube goes through the stabs onto the pads, and the pads are soaked and they are sticky. When I press the key down, like with the original stabs, it sounds like a fucking hentai with how much like stick sounds there are. It's unusable. So the only way to fix this is to either mash it. I don't know if this even works. Some people said it works for them. Didn't work for me. Or you have to take apart this whole keyboard and then unscrew like the plate from the PCB so you can get to the stabs, which are screwed onto the PCB. So that's like 20 screws that you need to like remove just so you can fix this piece of shit. So that already sounds fucking annoying. But then it gets worse. So the screws on the case are screwed on impossibly tight. They are so tight that you can't remove them. Like you have to get a screwdriver, a nice one, by the way. Like if you have like a crappy one, just give it up. You have a nice one, and then you have to like fucking jam it onto the screw with all your like upper body muscles, and then screw it out. And even then, it's hard as fuck. I had to get like a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and then I have to like basically stand on the screw with my whole body weight just to get this to like fucking bulge. Uh, and even then, I still stripped like 3 screws. So I got this piece of shit open. I got the steps fixed. I relooped them with 205G0, and I put it back on. I put my switches on. I put my keycaps on. So switches, I basically have to reloop half of them, but that's on me because I haven't looped any switches ever. So that's on me. So do all this shit, like build my keyboard, I plug it in, and it's fucking garbage. There's a lot of delay. You can just tell from typing that there's a shit ton of delay. So I go on a test site to test the delay, and there's like 20 milliseconds of delay. 20. A gaming keyboard will have 1 millisecond. This has 20. So it turns out that the firmware that they use for this piece of shit is terrible. The board's been out for like 2 months. They haven't fixed it. So you have to fix it yourself. So you have to download GMMK, build your own firmware, and then flash it. And even then, after all that work, it goes to like 5 milliseconds instead of like 20. Makes it a little bit more usable, but nowhere close to being like optimal. And then if you use QMK, you just lose RGB, like straight up, it's just gone. Apparently you can get it back, but honestly, I don't fucking care because the RGB on this board is not very good. Uh, the RGB on this, there's underglow and side glow. The side glow is a fucking meme. You can't see it. It's not even reflected off the table. All the reviews basically lied to you. And the underglow is gone for me because I use non-transparent switches, but that's on me, I guess. But so overall, this keyboard not worth it for $170. Massive pain in the ass to make it work, and it's super frustrating because when you do get it working, it's actually not that bad. But this is a bare bones kit. This is supposed to be something that you just buy, plug in the switches, and it just works. But it doesn't. You have to spend so much effort trying to get this working. This is basically a DIY kit that you have to unscrew yourself and then rebuild from like the bottom up. Don't get this. Do not get this. Either wait for the Keychron K1 or just buy another 75%, like a KBD 75 or a ID80. Just don't buy this. This is really bad.